Hi guys, Adam here with Steve. We're round the corner from Old Trafford, stood in the Sam Platts car park, and it's very, very dark because Platts is shut. Webby ain't here. We came to get his last fan cam of the season at Old Trafford, Webby. Better see us at Wembley. Anyway, Steve, 3-1 today, 3 goals. How you feel?
I don't know. It was a nothing.
Got it, we didn't get the 19?
No. Because we was never getting that.
Well, you did predict before the game 20-0.
Yeah, but I don't know if I was serious when I said 20-0. Probably more being quite sarcastic. I think I said 2-1, didn't I, in my actual prediction. It was a nothing game, wasn't it? There was empty seats, and I think you can quantify that by saying there was probably people's travel arrangements couldn't be rearranged. There was probably a percentage of people thought, I'm not going.
We were speaking about that before the game. It was either going to work one of 2 ways. Because everyone got refunded, they'd be like, oh, we got refunded, free ticket. I can use that to fill the tank. We'll still go up. Or alternatively, oh, I've got the money. I ain't lost out on nothing. It doesn't matter.
The game literally meant nothing. There was probably an element of people who were still flapping about the bomb scare at weekend. There was definitely a few of those. I mean, I spoke to a couple of people tonight. It was like, yeah, my mate didn't come because of that. And you're like, probably the safest ground in the country now after that. Let's face it, innit? Everyone's security's gone on lockdown, so it probably is the safest thing in the country. But if you want to speak about the game, I thought Rashford was ridiculous. I mean,
MR 39.
He was trying all sorts, wasn't he? Playing with a man with no shackles whatsoever, playing with complete and utter abandon. Lovely to see. Don't think it bodes bad or good or anything for weekend. It was a weird game in a weird atmosphere, and it was testimonial pace, and it was testimonial attitude. And
I've seen better football at testimonials, to be honest. I mean, you usually get like a Cantona running around, or
the football wasn't bad, to be honest. I mean, that shot from Valencia was ridiculous, didn't it? That ball had to go off after that.
That's a good one. I might nick that, Steve.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. I don't know. I mean, what can you say about the game? I think the game was symptomatic of the season where it was flat. It was a flat game played by flat players.
The first goal was good team movement, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there was flashes where it looked great, and we had unbelievable amounts of possession, and we didn't look like we was losing it. And people are like, well, possession means nothing, but you know, sometimes it's good. English football has often been told that we're not tactically as good as the continentals because we don't know how to keep ball and close games out and stuff like that. I mean, speaking of closing the game out, I mean, that was unfortunate. Smalling put it in Dave's net at the end.
You think that's why he looked so upset at the end and not because he's off?
I don't know. Is the bottom top answer. He was pissed off.
Have you got George Mendez's number by any chance?
He was royally pissed off, wasn't he, when he went. I mean, he was standing there with his arms folded, and you can almost see him like well not happy. And that, I think it probably was down to the OG missing out on a Golden Glove, because he was probably in for a line for a big fat bonus for getting joint Golden Glove, I imagine. Does it mean he's going? No, it doesn't mean he's going. But I think there was some telling points on the walk round. I thought Louis van Gaal was away from everyone, and he sort of like made an effort.
What did you make of his speech? Because a lot of people here in the comments will have heard me and you over the last 12 to 24 months. Big fans of Louis van Gaal. We've seen the error of his ways, but ultimately we thought it would be better under him. So, did you share some of his disappointment in his voice there at the end?
He's not done what we expected him to do, but I think some of the hate that he gets is out of order and it's over the top.
He deserves a lot more respect.
Yeah, I think it's been poor, but the way some people are going on about, I've not seen what Chelsea have got. You know, Chelsea didn't get the stick for being almost relegation.
We know why that is, though, don't we?
Yeah,
we know
expectations are higher at Manchester United, and that's a fact. But do you know what? This is a weird time for the club. This is a weird time for the Premier League, evidenced by the fact that Leicester have just won the Premier League. I mean, if we'd have been stood here 12 months ago and someone going, listen, Leicester are going to win the Premier League, they would have been laughed at and probably never seen again. But that's just what's happened. That's just what's happened. Leicester have just won the Premier League. Arsenal bottled it, as usual, and then have managed to finish second because that's what Arsenal do. They come alive when there's no pressure on them, which is indicative of the manager. I'm sure I'd rather be in the position we're in, knowing that we've been shit and knowing we can improve by big percentages, rather than Arsenal, who must be screwing, thinking, how have we just managed to blow this league? It was theirs or City's to throw away. It really was. City have thrown it away, and because they've changed their manager, which I think was massively disrespectful to do it the way they did it, they've been given a massively easy ride in the press. They also get an easy ride because they talk to the press, and United don't talk to the press. But there's been different standards for different clubs in the similar circumstances and the way they've been treated, and some managers have been given time. The press was on Louis van Gaal from minute one. We signed Di Maria and Falcao. Regardless of how they turned out, everyone was excited about those, and we let Danny Welbeck go. And immediately, we're spending cash and turning our back on our heritage. Well, at the end of this 2-year reign, which I think is the end of his reign, Louis van Gaal's given more debuts than Fergie did.
And we've scored league goals.
Well, for one, but also more debuts than we've seen under Fergie's maybe last 8 years, maybe longer. I mean, there are some positives to Louis van Gaal's reign, and I think some of the jobs that Louis van Gaal had to do was he had to clear the decks a lot of that Fergie team, and we're gonna. It doesn't feel like it, but you know, I think we're probably in a better position now than when he took us over.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It doesn't feel like it, but I mean, Anthony Martial. I was saying to my dad all the way through the game, I was like, "How good is he, mate? How good is he?" The things that he's doing with the ball are what quality footballers doing. He's 20 years old. Rashford, playing like he don't give a shit. Just like, he's doing tricks that you'd expect him to do down the park with his mates. There's positives. There's a lot of negatives. But you know what? We've just finished level on points with City. And if you look at the way both clubs are reacting to it and the press are reacting to both, it shows you that we're still the biggest club in this country. Because we can't do anything without getting absolutely wrecked.
But it shows that this summer we really have to act like.
Well, the thing is, right, I believe it is Mourinho coming in very, very soon. Probably by next week or the end of the month at least. So, like I've said before, what if it goes wrong with Mourinho? Because, let's face it, Mourinho does not guarantee a thing. No one guarantees
Let's save
anything.
that conversation for next season.
Hang on, let me finish on this though, because Mourinho coming doesn't guarantee an absolute thing. What if it goes like it's just gone for him at Chelsea, which people are conveniently forgetting about? Because that's possible. What then? Then we are out of options, aren't we? Sometimes I think it may be the better the devil you know, and maybe that final year of Louis van Gaal might not be the worst thing in the world, but what's going to be what is going to be, and I'm pretty sure Mourinho's going to be here before the summer's out.
So in a nutshell, you think we could go for Mark Hughes rather than Mourinho, yeah? God. See you later, guys.